Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. Brad and Aaron here. Aaron, you want to say hi? Can you hear me okay? Can anybody else hear me?
Hi, everybody. I didn't know we were going live yet. Okay. I'm switched over to the other looking at comments.
All right. So, welcome. Welcome, everybody. I see we got about 8 in here. We're going to get started in just a moment. Is your audio coming through your YouTube instead of through the headset now, Aaron?
Yeah, I'm fixing it now. I'm trying to. There we go.
All right.
It's funny how it worked before, and now all of a sudden we switch over and it's not.
Yeah, just because I took you out and brought you back in. Oh, actually, it's because you're live on YouTube, so you're seeing. Turn off your volume. Yeah, turn off your volume on the YouTube window. Just pay attention to StreamYard. Kick that thing, Aaron. Ratfink says. All right, we're going to get started in just a second here.
All right, there it is.
All right. So again, happy Thursday, everybody. Thanks for coming out and hanging out with us.
I'm gonna. You're not working there.
Add my share screen to the stream here, and we will get going. So this is our second one. Welcome to our new education series, live lunch and learn with Aaron and Brad, or Brad and Aaron. You can make up a pet name for us if you want to. We expect to make some new friends, pass on some knowledge, as well as learn from our community here as we present various topics of importance to YouTubers primarily. Although we will venture off topic to some RV topics, travel topics, maybe dog, pet topics, anything that we have some experience on based on feedback from the community and wherever we want to go. So this is our second episode. On our first episode last week, we walked through how to create a Google account, a Gmail account, a YouTube sign-on, and a YouTube channel. And this week we'll continue on building out our new channel. And last week we told you who Brad and Aaron are and why we're doing this, so we'll touch on that here again real quick. If you want a full introduction and get all the dirt on Aaron and Brad, then look at our episode 1. But a quick refresh, Aaron and I are not full-time YouTubers, but Aaron has years of experience and a couple of different channels that he supported on here, as well as a lot of skills with RV related topics. And I'm fairly new to YouTube, less than 2 years now, but over 10 years with social media and other software knowledge. But our main focus is really you, the YouTube community. We plan to not only share with the YouTube community, but also learn from the community because there's limitless knowledge that's out there today. Okay, so I want to just touch on this each time just to make sure, because we may have some new people coming in. Our purpose is really to pass forward information and collaborate with all of you. We want to continue to learn, but we're not claiming to be certified experts on any specific topic. We're just sharing our experience as we've been part-time amateur YouTubers or social media enthusiasts over the past few years, or in Aaron's case, lots of DIY with RV stuff. So our focus is really on paying our knowledge forward, finding ways to support other charities, pass on knowledge, keeping it positive. Anything you want to add there, Aaron? I think you got a little bit of a delay. Let me come back here for just a second. Can everybody else hear me okay? Aaron, can you hear me okay? Are you hearing me okay, Aaron? Can nobody hear me? Is the audio working?
I can't hear you.
Okay, I think you're the only one that can't hear me, Aaron. Let me correct him real quick here, and we will continue. All right, let me get my share screen back in here, and we'll get right back to it. We'll let him work out audio issues. We just tested it again right before, so. All right, so today we're really going to focus on building on the basics. We got a channel. We focused on that last week. So now what? Some of the things that you're going to want to think about as we go through these next few videos are, again, expanding on your purpose. Have you written down what your purpose is and say something like an about me or about this channel page? Because there's a place to put that in YouTube that we may get to today. Are you confident in your channel's name? If you are confident in your brand or your channel's name, that's great. If not, that's okay, because you can change it at any time, but there's some things to think about when it comes to changing your channel name. Have you thought about your actual graphics, the brand and logo, and what what kind of theme you want to have with that? Have you already captured some content? You're just dying to push it up to the YouTube cloud. So we're going to get to all of those things over the next few videos, but we're going to start today really on what about all these different settings for my channel? So let's start there. Okay, so channel settings setup. I can hear you now, Aaron. I think your phone's ringing or something. We can hear you, but he can't hear us. Okay, so let's start here. I'm actually going to switch over and show this from an actual demonstration perspective. I'm going to have to mute Aaron here for a moment. Okay, slide over here. This is a new channel that we created last week. I created one actually under my name, Brad Solomon. So we walked through on setting up our channel name, and where we're going to be going today really is to the settings. And this is more than your channel settings. This is also your YouTube sign-in settings. But we're going to start right here with channel status and features. But first, I think there's one step that you would probably come to, and that's verifying your account. So let's go back here. Let's skip to the next page. Channel name. We talked about channel name. Have you decided on a channel name? If not, you can leave it as a now, and you can change it later. If you have an idea of your channel name, go ahead and click Create Your Channel Name by clicking Create Channel Name. So if we step back here, we've got settings. When you came here, you would have had to create channel name. I've already completed that step, so let's go see what that looked like.
Okay, let's see if this works.
Yep, there you are. Okay.
Something you might want to keep in mind when you're doing your channel name is that you need to keep it something that people will remember. So keep it short, keep it sweet. They usually say don't put letters or numbers in the front of it, like mine with the Three Tails RV, because is it spelled out 3? Is it the number 3? So that's just something to keep in mind when you're doing your channel name.
Yeah, that's a good point, Aaron. And actually, also with those special characters like the "and" that's in our name, that's another no-no. We knew that going in, but we chose to we like the name, so we decided to do it. And again, our purpose when we joined this and set this up was never really to make it a professional thing or monetize the channel. But since then, we've started thinking about growing it a little bit more from a charitable perspective. Anything that we gain from the Pause and Effect brand, we're going to pass on to charity. So as you can see on my demo over here, this is my actual page. I don't have the create my channel. I did that yesterday, and that's where that screenshot came from. So if you've just got a YouTube sign on, this is how you actually create a channel. So creating the channel allows you to put a brand name to it, a new name to it. And actually what you can do is create multiple channels if you want that are all underneath the same sign-on. We're not going to do the multiple channels. We're just going to show you one channel today. So in creating that channel, basically all you have to do is put in the name and click create. So we went with Live Lunch and Learn with Aron and Brad. So we're actually creating a new channel that we're using in the training here, but feel free to subscribe to that channel as well, just to help that out in case we want to make it into a official standalone channel at some point. And now once you click on that create button, you come back, it changes your icon from that B for Brad Solomon to Live Lunch and Learn. It gives me an L, and then I can come back to my settings here. Let me make sure there's not anything else I want to say here. This is all pretty straightforward. Okay, let's go back to the settings again. If we come back to the settings, you're going to be back to what looks like on my page now, where you've got your icons in here. Now you've got an add and manage your channels, view advanced settings. And so next, we are actually going to go into channel status and features. And so with channel status and features, if I go in there, you're going to see a little bit difference here because I've already verified my channel. Actually, it says verify there. I think I'm logged into my second channel. Hold on here. Let me show you something here because I've actually got two channels. There it is. This is the right one probably. There we go. That's the one that I did that was verified. So if you came on to another channel, under my Brad Solomon, I've actually created two channels, one that's verified and one that's not. And you can see they're named the exact same thing. So you don't have to have a unique name. You could have two channels with the exact same thing. I wouldn't recommend that, but I'm just doing it for demonstration purposes. So in this case, the next step here would be to verify. So verify your YouTube account. And so the importance for that is, if we come back here, if you'll notice down here at the bottom, there's these different status settings. And if you're a brand new channel, most of these are going to say ineligible, not enabled, those types of things. So by verifying your channel, you're going to actually enable a few of those things, like uploading longer videos, being able to add a custom thumbnail, which is critically important. Also, live stream. If you want to live stream, you need to verify your channel. And then appeal content ID claims, which we hope you never really have to do. So let's talk about the verification process now. So to verify here, we're going to simply click that verification. Let's go ahead and do that on this one right here. Click verify, and then you're going to enter some information. So you can enter the United States, where you're from, or what country you're from. You can either call or text. I did text, and basically when you do a text to your phone number, it's going to give you a code, and then you would submit it. And so walking through on this slide, click verify, enter your country, decide whether you want to call or a text. The call will not be a live person, it will just be an automated message. If you've ever done two-factor authentication, like with your bank account or anything like that, it will just be a phone call, you answer, and they say, here is your code. It's going to give you the same type of code that it would via text. And then basically you click submit after you enter that. And on the next page is where you actually enter that code. So we're not going to walk through that process in the demo, but this is basically what you would get, and you would enter your code and click verified, and that would bring us back to the page where we're verified. So if I come back over to my account here, and I switch back to my other channel that's already verified, the blue one, there we go, it's verified. You can notice down here at the bottom, now you can add longer videos. You can live stream. You can do custom thumbnails and external annotations. Now, I don't think live stream was enabled. Let me go back. There was another step on there. So let's go back and continue walking through this. So you can see here, longer videos. Live streaming actually comes back and gives you another step. Enable, we'll walk through that in just a second. You've got custom thumbnails, external annotations, and also content appeals here we can go learn a little bit more about. So let me step through here, see if there's anything else I wanted to mention. All right, we're going to talk about all of these different topics. I'm going to go through the example of how to turn on your live streaming in just a second. But before we do that, I do want to touch on content appeals. We're not going to do a deep dive into what this is. We can do one later if requested, or probably at the right point we'll do one regardless of whether it's requested, because it's important information. And it's probably something that's not fun when you do face one of those. I had one of those due to some background music when we were in Daytona. Actually It was on Facebook, not on YouTube, but the same type of thing applies on Facebook or any social media. If you share something that is not your material, so it could be music, it could be a movie, it could be, just about anything that has, an artist behind it that has a copyright. If they or their organization that supports them puts a claim against you, there's some serious things that can happen. So let's talk about that real quick.
So one thing to keep in mind that you may be able to use it now, but say later on down the road, that artist gets picked up under a label. They may pick up that entire block and go way back to when they first started, and then you will have a strike on you for one of your videos.
That's right, and that's what the content claim is. And if the content claim stands, you'll get a strike, and you're allowed up to 3 strikes. But I think there's certain things that occur even after each strike. There's certain restriction or limitations that might occur. I'm not sure, Aaron. You might have more information on that because I don't have a whole lot of experience with.
Well,
walking
basically,
through this process.
I use an example in one of my videos. I did the "Shake, Shake, Shake" that song. It's an older song, and I did that to a can, and I was shaking the can for painting, and I put that behind it, and I got a copyright strike on it. So what I ended up doing is you can go into the editor that's in YouTube, and they can replace that song and that during that section to something else. So it got rid of my strike. There's ways of doing it, or you can go in and it's an automatic thing where it will automatically remove that content for that period of time. So you'll see the TV might be on, or there's a song playing on the radio. As long as it's over, I think it's 10 seconds, you'll get a strike for it. But if it's under 10 seconds, you won't.
Yeah.
And that's the music stuff. Now, if there's a copyright claim on a video itself, they will go through. You'll get the initial one that comes from the algorithm or the bot. And then if you dispute it, they will go back and you'll get a person that will sit in front of the video and watch where that content is an error and make an evaluation of it. If they determine that it is a copyright strike, YouTube will usually remove the video.
Right. Yep. And so in my case, I appealed my claim. That, again, this was Facebook, not YouTube, but basically within a day, they basically said claim removed, because what it was at the Daytona Bike Week, which we'll be releasing that video probably in the next 4 weeks, we were walking down Daytona Main Street, and there was all kinds of restaurants there that had music playing, and there was live music there, and there was also motorcycles going by that were playing music, and they had a content claim on there. And I said, there's like 5 songs in the background here, you can't even make out which song's playing, and disputed it and said this was just background music. I had no way to control the environment, and they removed the claim. So you can win them, but you want to be very careful with this. And so the reason we're going over this right now at the beginning is so that you have the materials you need to understand and educate yourself as much as possible on this. So take some time to look into what is a content claim, ID claim, and copyright strike basics. We're going to just click on copyright strike basics here to talk about 2 different things. I think we just talked about the different ways that you can get that copyright strike. And you can learn more about it right here. But what's a community strike? Because there's 2 different areas. When we get back to our channel, you'll see 2 different areas right underneath that verify: community strikes and copyright strikes. And so if you want to learn about community strikes, you're going to want to click on this community here. Community guidelines, strike basics. So I would read both of those documents to learn a little bit more on that. Community strikes are given when we don't follow the YouTube community guidelines. So if we click on that, it'll take you over there. It'll give you a reference or a link to the actual community guidelines. So take some time to read those community guidelines. Basically what they are, most of us probably don't need to worry about this, but you can see here, it's sexual content, harmful or dangerous content, violent content, bullying, hateful stuff like that. So most likely you're not going to fall into that category, but it's good to familiarize yourself with it just to make sure.
And that also applies to the terms and conditions that you initially agreed to when you accepted the YouTube. So make sure you read through that one too. That way you're aware of what you can and can't do and can't get away with. The newest thing that they've established with it is it kids-oriented content, because they're having some issues, some major issues with inappropriate kid content that was out there. And if you get a strike for one of those, it's not going to help you get started in YouTube at all. So make sure you're aware of the situation. Make sure you know what kind of content you can put out.
And YouTube has a right to completely remove your channel. So that's one of the things that you want to read there too as well. So these things are pretty serious. But again, if you're not violating these, what most people aren't going to be, especially the community guidelines, you're probably going to be in good shape. Just read them to make sure. And we pointed you to the materials while you do that. If there are any specific questions, feel free to ask them on chat. Aron's monitoring the chat. I actually can't see it on my screen because I'm sharing here, but we'll get back to them. If we don't answer them in this session, we'll read them and bring them up in our next session. All right, so the next thing is enabling live streaming. So for some reason, YouTube makes you click enable to enable live streaming, whereas the other things like longer videos, custom thumbnails, they automatically became enabled. This one just went to eligible. So you actually have to click to enable it. And once you click to enable it, it will bring you to a confirmation page that tells you in 24 hours you'll have that ability. Okay, so that's the first step in verifying your channel and what you get from verifying your channel. Let's step back to the YouTube Studio, which we really didn't go to Studio. We kind of went there when we went to verify. It automatically took us there. We didn't really know we were going to YouTube Studio. Now when we come back to Studio, we're still not at that page that showed our channel. We're actually on our channel dashboard here. And we haven't talked about this at all yet, but that's the process to getting back to your setting page. Is you got to go to Studio and then right back to channel and then to settings. So if you click settings from that channel page, it's going to be different settings. That's only settings that are specific to your channel, and we'll get to those a little bit later. So YouTube, I think this is where some of the confusion come in. There's lots of different places to click in Google, in YouTube, that are doing different things, and they kind of all work together hand in hand.
Real quick, Bradley, I want to answer Jerry Holly's question. He's asked us how he got a copyright strike from a video from the fire department. How do you remove the strike? Well, basically, you're going to have to go back to YouTube and request them to review that strike, and they'll get back to you. It used to be a week turnaround, but with the world conditions that we're in right now, it might take a little bit longer. And if you need more information, Jerry, go ahead and send me an email at 3tailsRV, and I already got the link up above. So,
what if I'm not sure if Jerry's been monetized or reached the point where he can do content ID appeals? Don't you have to? How many subscribers do you need for that? Let's go over and see.
I know Jerry was just short of it.
Content. Let's learn more on content ID appeals. Okay, well that just takes me to the link here. It doesn't tell me when that turns on, but let me look at my channel. I'm gonna look at my actual channel here, because I just reached 1,000, and I've never had to claim one on YouTube. So let me go to my settings. Channel status features. And I am enabled. So somewhere before I got to 1,000, I believe this was enabled. So Jerry, if you are enabled, you're going to want to start and follow that process on content appeals, ID appeals. And if you need any help, let me or Aron know, and we can walk you through that process for sure. Okay. Any more questions you want to address before we continue on?
No, we're good. I haven't seen anything else pop up.
Okay, cool. All right, so now we're back here where we can click on the link at the top, the logo at the top, which brings down our drop down for us to get back to that settings page we were at. And now what we're going to want to do is check out these advanced settings, see what the advanced settings look like. So there's not a whole lot here, honestly. So I've never had to ask. I've never been asked for my user ID copy. So, Aron, I'm not sure if you've ever used this. Your channel ID. This is basically the end of the URL. It's not the URL. Don't misunderstand here that this is not where you copy the URL. This is basically the last part of that URL. What do you use these for, Aaron? Is there some type of
You can go.
tracking or something that?
Most people hide those because I can put that into OBS and then I can do live streams on your account. That is your official ID for YouTube. That way it knows that it's you, that's your channel, and you can do the broadcasting. So when you go into like OBS, that ID, you plug it in, and then when you say go live on there, it creates the video. That's the same thing that's doing with the software we're using today for this live stream.
So it's more like tags for integration, so to identify you as your sign in and your channel as well. Okay, cool. So
okay, there was one other question. Foreverland RV says if they were having a hard time following along, there's actually another app that you need to download that will help you along with that. It's called YouTube Studio, and that will give you all of your background. You can do the overviews. You can look at all the different revenues and stuff that you're getting, videos, playlists, and content. So that's another app that you can get for your phone that will help with following along with some of the things that we're doing today
on your phone.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So that's YouTube. That's UT Studios, and it looks like the little gear. I don't know if you can see that, but that's the one we're looking for. Is the gear there?
Yep, and actually I did everything from a Chrome browser, so all of my content is Chrome browser. You may have a little bit of different flow in other browsers, or as Aaron said, if you're on an iPad or an iPhone or a Google device, it might be totally different there as well.
Yeah, you can just go through the regular browser to get most of this information that we're showing, but that's another feature that you can use is that app that I showed you.
Okay, next is default channel. So default channel, this just allows you, if you've got multiple channels like we did up here, I could make one of the channels, actually, I'm not on my page here, but if I come back here, I've got those multiple channels somewhere here. There we go. Up.
Amy's asking, how do you hide the channel ID? You're not going to, because you're the only one that's going to see that. Unless we do a live stream like we're doing today, nobody else is going to know that information except for you. When you do your login, you go in and you'll get that information. For the live stream, like I said, most people will go ahead and hide that information so that somebody else doesn't get on there and pirate your YouTube channel from you doing live streams. So nobody else is going to know that but you.
Here we go. Now we're back here. So what I was showing is the multiple accounts that we had underneath there. Okay, so this allows you to select one of those channels for default. So if you remember before when we were back on the earlier, I showed you we had two channels, one verified, one not. This would just allow you to set the default, and all that means is when you log in, it's going to come up on your channel sign on. You don't have to go select which channel you're looking at. So on that main page where it says manage your channels here, you don't have to select it. It would automatically select this channel here each time, and it would bring that channel up right here so that we can go to settings and get back to it. So that's all this default really does, is allow you to select a default channel to start on. Custom URL, if you've got over 100 subscribers, you will have that custom URL ability. You'll be eligible for it, and you can go in and set that up. So we will cover that later, but that basically just allows you to learn about custom URLs, and when you become eligible, this is where you would click to set up your channel. And basically it allows you to change this channel ID right here. Wait, actually the channel ID is not going to change. It will stay the same, but your custom URL would then be an alias to that channel ID. So in our case, ours is basically just youtube.com /C pause and effect or pause effect. So you can do something simple like that so you don't have to have this string in your URL. And then we won't talk too much about move channel, delete channel right now. We assume everybody's getting started. If you have a specific purpose to move the channel, when we say move channel, that means you're going to move this channel name here, which is our Live and Learn channel name. You're going to move it to somebody else. So if I wanted to give this channel to Aaron instead of keeping it underneath the Brad Solomon account, I can move that to his account, his Google account. Okay, so let's leave advanced settings, and we're going to leave advanced settings here by clicking just over on the left tab. We were at advanced settings down here. We're just going to click back up at the top. So we're not actually leaving the settings page. We're just going from advanced settings back up to our account. And so now that we're back here, you've got some more things that have been added to your settings page, channel managers, and some things around your Google account. A channel manager option allows you to add somebody to manage this channel. So what we can do there, in this case, I could come here and I could say add or remove managers. And then I could add someone in here. So right now, I'm the only one that has permissions for this. I could come in here and I could say, I enter my password, and then I can manage permissions again, and it'll allow me to add somebody. So I could come in here and I could add Three Tails RV@gmail.com. Choose the role. I could say he's an owner along with me, and then invite him. So now we've created this brand new page, and now both Aron and I have access to this page, and we'll just continue growing out this page as we walk along with this help. So if you wanted to add that, your ability for somebody to either have the same permissions as you, or maybe be a manager and have similar permissions, but they won't be able to delete the channel, but they'll be able to do some edit, or maybe just some view only. You can set those permissions up here.
With that setting, I could go into your channel and I could update your banners. I can update thumbnails for you. I can help you do any kind of management within that thing in there. It can analyze your data for you. I mean, that can be a very helpful tool. Jerry, I don't know how much to charge, but for you, buddy, we'll make a special deal.
Yeah, that's a great point. So not only somebody that's helping you with your channel that may be a partner, but somebody that you're consulting with to make some changes for you, giving them access. I know I did that with people from MailChimp and Salesforce and some of the other applications I've used. And I also used to manage somebody's business Facebook page. They just make you a manager and they say, hey, I need this done, and you go in and do it for them.
So please, do me a favor. Don't add me to all of your accounts.
Yeah, good point. We could definitely promote our channels off of their channel by doing that. If they give us access, we could definitely mess with your channels then. All right, so next we're going to step down to notifications. So notifications on the left side, really what this is focused on is, what do you want to have happen when somebody does something on your channel? So those little notifications that by default they're turned on. They'll be popping up on your browser whenever you get something. Whenever somebody does these things right down here below, if I get a subscribe or things like that. So, but first of all, turn them on or off. If you turn them off, this goes away because now you won't get any notifications in the browser. Now down below this is also email. So you could turn off all your browser notifications and still get some email notifications, but they're the email notifications are a little bit different, more like a summary that you can set up in your email, whereas these are every time you get somebody commenting or liking, or any of these activities right here, you'll get a pop-up in your browser. And this is where you manage them and turn them on and off. Playback and performance. Really not a whole lot to share here. What do you have? Something else, Aron?
Yeah, real quick before you go too far with that, can you flip back to that other screen real quick?
Absolutely.
Personally, I leave all my notifications on because I like to know what's going on with my channel. If somebody gets in there that I don't want in there, I get notifications from buddy. It helps you to figure out who's subscribing to your channel, because it'll send you an email and say, hey, so-and-so just subscribed to your channel. That way, if you're doing shout outs for that week, you could go through and actually shout out to all of the new people that subscribe to you. So that's another helpful hint.
Yeah, but you also have to, there's another setting for making your subscriptions private or public. And if you've got your subscriptions set private, whenever you subscribe to somebody, they won't know that you've subscribed to their channel. So keep that in mind as well. So if people are saying, well, I didn't see you subscribed, or you're not seeing people subscribe and your subscriber count's going up, it's because they've set their subscriptions to private. The only thing that I have turned off here is recommended videos. On this channel, I'm not even sure on my main channel, I probably have nothing turned off, but you might, if you don't want to see recommended videos coming over, you can turn that off. But the rest of them, like Aron said, are all about the activity on your channel, on your videos.
But on a side note with that, I like to have that on because then I can see when I get done watching a video of mine, just as a refresher to go through it, see if it brings up, it recommends another video of mine along with that series. So I
Yeah,
like
that's
to
a good
keep it
point.
on.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. But like I said, I think it's on my main channel. I just showed that as far as the screenshot from this new channel that we set up. And so playback and performance, this isn't really about your channel. This is more about your watch experience as far as I know. And basically what this allows you to do is if you're playing back videos, there's those info cards that pop up. You can turn those off if you don't want to see those info cards. I don't see a whole lot of value in that. I leave them on because I think it's informational. It might be something, that I'm watching somebody and they've done another video and that pop-up comes on and I want to see it. And then of course captions, and then there's just some video settings down here. I don't have much experience with this, Aaron. I'm not sure if there's anything you want to share from here. I didn't see much value to this page.
No, actually, you were right on with the money. It's a very helpful tool to find out what else are the other settings. So those will help you out a lot.
Okay, then there's privacy. This is what I was talking about. So if you keep all my subscription private, nobody's going to be able to see your subscriptions, and they're not going to be able to see that you subscribe to them, I believe. Keep all my saved playlists private. So this isn't your own personal video playlist that you create. This is if you create a playlist of videos that you want to watch in a playlist. Nobody will be able to see those. By default, every video that you click on goes into this liked playlist. And you can create other ones where you could move different videos in there. So by topic, I could move into my favorite RV videos, even though they're not my channel, and put them in a saved playlist. People can see those if you keep them public. Some people want to turn those off. If they're maybe watching videos they don't want people to know they're watching in their playlist, they can turn it off.
And personally, I turned it off because it's a distraction from what I want people to see. I want them to look at my content, not the stuff that I'm looking at.
Yeah, you turn this first one off, but you keep the subscriptions public, right?
Yes.
Yep, same here. And down here, it's just telling you about personalization, right? So Google, like most other social media sites, are keeping a profile about you, and they're using that to serve ads. They can charge more. They can get a higher click-through rate if they're serving ads to somebody. You don't manage your preferences from here. This is basically saying if you want to block certain advertisers or opt out, basically not allow them to use your personal information for serving you ads, then you can click on Google Ad settings and go over there and set up your preferences. So if you shop or you like getting ads and you want the ads to be personal to you, actually I shouldn't say like getting ads. If you like getting ads that are more personal to you, and of course it's kind of a it's not a perfect science, right? So even if it does a profile on you based on that, you're still going to get ads that you don't care about. Now, if you go over there and opt out of interest-based ads, you're still going to get ads. They're just not going to look at your profile before they serve you an ad. So I say leave it on, because that way, if you are getting ads, hopefully they're a little bit more meaningful.
And that's the algorithm looking at you specifically as to what videos you watch. So then it's going to make recommendations on the specific kind of content that you have actually gone to and looked. It's the same thing with Facebook. If you haven't ever noticed, if you go to Amazon and you look at something and then you got the ads for that for the next 3 weeks, it's doing the same thing with YouTube.
And the next one is connected accounts. I have no experience with this one, but I can tell you what I believe it is based on quick glance. There's other applications where you can actually stream YouTube through or connect to YouTube in some way. If you use any of these applications here, like you play games on Riot Games, you can connect YouTube in it and possibly watch YouTube videos right through your Riot Games interface. Aaron, do you have any experience with this?
Most of these, like you said, are geared toward gamers, but there's also, if you scroll down, there's going to be some more that are specifically for music channels, so that people can rebroadcast their information to other accounts, like live streams and stuff like that. You can do that in there too.
Okay, cool. So if you have any questions about that specifically, ask them. I don't want to take the time to have to show the ones down below. They basically look just like this, but if there's an app on your list that you're interested in, let us know and we'll do some more research or cover that in a later topic. Watch on TV. This is a way that if you've got a smart TV and you have a YouTube app on there and you go to click, usually it's going to ask you for a code or give you a code to plug into your actual YouTube channel or your YouTube sign in so that you don't actually have to go on your TV and type it in through a keyboard and all that. So you basically just enter that code here and it would attach your YouTube channel to that TV. So whenever you click YouTube on your remote, it's going to bring up your channel. I do it through my phone. I don't do it through the laptop like this is showing, but this is where you would set that up.
And most TVs have the option of, they've got a app built right into them, so you can bring up the YouTube just like that and go through your internet connected right to the TV without having to push it through the computer.
That's right. Yeah, I know that one thing that this does though, even though I've got an app on mine, when I click on my YouTube app, we do Airbnb, so other people may have used our TV and used the YouTube app, and when I get here, it automatically asks me, what channel do you want to use? What channel do you want to connect to? Enter this code. So I just go to my phone, put in my code, and then it pulls up my channel. So it keeps me from having to go in and sign in with my username and my password on the actual YouTube app that's on there. Billing and payments. There's nothing much here to really set up. I would recommend leaving this enable quick purchase. That's really the only option that I have here. I would recommend leaving it turned off because as I understand it, it really turns off any additional verification from devices, from other devices. So once you set up other devices that have access to your account, anybody that has that device could make a purchase. So if you have your YouTube channel on your phone, your iPad, and a couple of computers, if you have grandkids over or whatever, they could make a purchase against your account across any of those devices.
Yep, download the movie for tonight's viewing. Oh, look, we've downloaded 12 of them at $9.99 a piece.
Exactly. All right, I think that now covers us on settings. We can now go back to our top logo button and click your channel. Let's see where that takes us here. Customize channel. So now we're through those settings. That was pretty much all an overview of all the settings you're going to really need to care about or think about from over here to the right. Let me get back into my count here. So everything that was under settings, we just went through. So all of your settings that are here, and you're going to see settings in some other places. So keep in mind, the settings that you see in other places may be different than this settings. But basically what you're going to think about when you come here is going back to your channel status features, removing managers, and that's about it. Or if you wanted to create a new channel, delete a channel, notifications, that type of stuff. So now that we're back here, we're actually on our channel. We're ready to do some stuff with the channel itself, not settings related, but let's go in and customize our channel. So once we click that, now we actually get, this is what people are going to see when they log in. There's this ability to view as yourself, as view as a subscriber. It's going to look the same right now because you haven't done anything with it for the most part. But this is good to use, this view as yourself, view as a subscriber. If you've made some changes and you want to go see what it's going to look like, that's what you would use to do that. And there's another way to do that as well, which is go into and just search for your channel and go into incognito mode. So it basically does, and we'll show incognito mode later. I'm just talking about that out loud right now. But this is really, the settings is what I wanted to get across today. And I thought we might have some time, which it looks like we do, to talk about the about. Now, this is where it starts getting fun. We chose to go ahead and walk through all those mundane settings because we thought people might have some questions, but that's really boring. But now we're getting to the point of talking about your channel. So Aron mentioned last week that about is very important, and it's a good place to start. So we can start with the about here, and that's why I mentioned at the beginning, have you written down anything about your channel? And you know, basically, if you've written something down, you're going to want to put that in here about what your goals are, visions are, purpose, who you are, that type of stuff. And what we can do, Aron, is we can talk about this, but we can also go to our own channels and show what we've done if you want.
That's fine. You can go over to mine. Basically, it's the vision statement and the goals that you want to do with your RV, or within your YouTube channel. So basically, you just want a quick snapshot. You don't want to put a book in there. I think they limit you on the number of spaces that you can use. But yeah, it's like your channel intro. It's basically the same thing. Some people click up there and read about your about. It also gives you your email address, and if you have a web page, you can attach that on there. So it's a good starting point for people. And then the next important that I believe is the next important is your channel trailer. So I think those are the top two things that'll help you connect to other creators, or say there's somebody out there that wants you to do a product review, they can contact you and send you a quick email and say, hey, how would you like to do a product review on XYZ? So that's why I think it's very important.
Okay, we're going to Aron's About page. You should be able to see it now, Aron. And hey, our new channel is going to subscribe to your channel. You just gained a new subscriber. And we're going to turn on all notifications. This is something that you're want to get to do on your favorite channels. Make sure you're subscribed and do all notifications. You want to explain anything more about your About page? Things, kind of what you were thinking when you set this up?
It pretty much says everything that I needed to say, except for I'd like to add live stream. I'd like to get on the list and do a live stream there. And once I do that, I'll add that to that list. Also, there's nothing about us work camping. I mean, there's some updates that I need to do to that. And I already know that, and I have that on a list of things that I do. The simplest way to do all of this is to sit down and brainstorm. Think about what you want to do, where you want to go with your channel. Try and keep it specific. So if you're doing RV related content, make sure that you talk about the RV related content that you're going to be doing. If you're going to do product reviews, DIY tips, tricks, and other creative stuff, then put it in there. That way people can look at a glance and find out exactly what you're about on your channel, and it's easy to follow and easy to read and understand.
Yeah, and I think once you have something that you like, coming back here when you go to YouTube or you go to Twitter or you get to uploading videos, and there's a place where you can put an upload template so that every time you don't have to retype information about your video or your channel, and basically copy and paste them from here so that you have the same thing on each social media presence. Now, in some cases, as Aron mentioned, there's limitations to what you can put, but this one gives you not many more characters than this. This is probably about the main size that you'll see. But this could really be that core, and then on the other ones that allow you to add more characters, you can add more at the bottom. Or like when you use this for your video template, you put that in as your video template, but then when you upload your video, you can add stuff on the top, say video description, and then right below it, your channel description. And that way you don't have to type it in, copy and paste it in. It's right in that upload template, which we'll show when we get to uploading videos.
And if you have any questions about that, or you need some help getting started, just drop me an email. I'll be glad to help you out with that.
And Aron's channel, obviously he had a channel before this. In fact, Aron, I'm going to search and show your other channel. Is your other About page? Let's show the difference between your other About page. Let me do another search here.
P for Angels. It's the
there it is,
letter
right here.
P and then 4. There you go.
This is his other channel. So we can come here and go to the About page for it. And you can see here a little bit different structure. Vision statement is talking about what they do with the aquarium hobby, and then some of the other places, so giving some links to where. And you can also do links down here, so you could put these links down here as well. It just depends on what you want your audience to see. And then there's also, we won't talk about featured channels today, but we can get over and start talking about that on a subsequent call. So I'm also going to subscribe this page to you. And then now lastly, if there's no questions about those two, I will actually show ours. So you've got a couple of, when Aron does a channel, and this is probably something that we could talk about, and Chris and I really haven't necessarily followed this and stayed true to ours. If you really want to grow a channel, you want to be focused. Angelfish, that's what he's focused on. Aquariums and angelfish, right? They were, I don't know the whole story here, Aron, but you guys actually bred angelfish and whatever they call that, right? Because I saw the video you sent me the other day, and it was like thousands of babies, like a hatchery, right?
Yes, it was a hatchery. At one time, we had over 1,000 gallons of water in our house. Basically, I bred angelfish, and I sold them up and down the West Coast when we were out in Seattle. And that was part of our adventures. And I showed different walkarounds and walkthroughs and gave tips on how to do it. So it's not much different than the RV. And that was the next progression for us. So I created another channel, and there it is.
So the tip there is to keep, if you have a focus and you know what your focus is, focus on that topic, do content on that topic, have everything be about that topic. So that's, you can see Aron's 2 pages really were true to that. Now, if I go over to my page, you're going to see a little bit different. So let me get to my actual page here.
But you could set it up for traveling, and you're really on the outreach for raising money for other charities. I mean, you could put that up there in the corner. There's so many different ways to do the branding on your specific channel, so we can get into that a lot more. I plan on doing a video where I actually go and I create a banner. That'll be one whole session just on that. And then I want to do another one on how to do thumbnails, because I've got a different way of doing it. It's a lot the same, but to actually see somebody sit down and actually do that from beginning to end, I think it'd be a very good video for the thumbnails and banners and how to create your branding. And we talk about branding. Your name that you use for your channel, that's your brand name, or your name itself. Like I don't have Three Tails RV in there. It's Aron Jemison. That way everybody knows, oh, that's Aron's stuff. So I'm using my own name, and then as a sub brand is Three Tails RV, because if I decide to go away from Three Tails RV, that content will still be there and can continue to grow. Just like my other channel has over 2K of viewers, but it lost its monetary value because I haven't uploaded a video in that in like 4 years. But there's still video content out there. They see my name. You can kind of quick access to both of those 2 different channels, and people still support it and still go there, and I get tons of views on the other one too. But that's your brand, is your name, your logo that you create. That's part of your branding. People see that, they automatically go, hey, that's Bradley's channel. I want to go over there and check out this video. That's the idea behind it.
Yep, that's a good one. And then you see on our description, it's a little bit less focused, and we put the dogs at the top because we really do think Presley and Priscilla, and the fact that we're focused on dog rescues and charities is going to be a core part of our channel. However, it hasn't been it hasn't been probably more than 50% of our content, but we're going to start releasing a dog video on every Monday to try to make up for that. We also added in motorcycles last year, so I've recently added motorcycle enthusiasts to this. But really, our desire is to pause, take in the beauty around you, and see the effects. So that's really what ties into our pause and effect. So it's about really bringing good and positivity. That's really what our channel is. And the nice thing about that is it can take us anywhere. We don't have to be quite as focused. We're not focused on growing just as an RV channel or a cooking channel or anything like that. We're really just paying it forward, being kind, helping the environment, helping people, helping animals, and then bringing awareness to them along the way. So that's your about page. So I'll leave you with the fact, think about what you want, go in there and play around with it, see what it looks like. If you want some feedback on the next Lunch and Learn session, we're happy to bring up your channels and talk about them and give some critique on the next one as well. So that's really the content that I wanted to get through today. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and go back and see if there's any questions that we might have missed.
So you're probably asking yourself, what does this have to do with the RV community? Well, what Bradley and I talked about is the fact that we can help our own community, showing you, the viewer, how to create a YouTube channel and get you started in the right direction, instead of watching tons of other videos and getting confused and getting kind of scared about doing it as at a startup. So that's why we decided to come up with this series that we're doing now to help our own community, or those that want to join the community, to get involved and give them a path and a direction and a sequence of what to do and how to do it.
So what's everybody think? Get a thumbs up if you guys are enjoying this content. I know a lot of you probably have got past this point. Will it be helpful for others that find this when they're setting up their channels? Do you see if we continue on this path and we start getting the actual content, thumbnails, video production, audio, mixing and that type of stuff are you going to keep coming back? Is everybody enjoying it? If you will, give us a thumbs up. Awesome. Anything else to add, Aaron?
Oh, I want to give a shout out to James the Lone Wolf, or James J is what he calls himself. I've known him for for many years. Him and I used to work. Well, he owned a computer store, and I used to go down there and harass him and help with little projects. I just want to do a quick shout out for him. I do appreciate everybody that is coming into the live stream today. There are 19 total today. If you have any other suggestions on content that you'd like to see, please let us know, and we'll incorporate that into our sessions that we're doing here. It's really about helping the community. So again, help us to help you. Give us some ideas on what you'd like to see.
Yep, I completely agree. You think we ought to try to raid somebody before we leave today?
If there's somebody out there, I don't even know if there's another live session open.
There's one. It's called the Crockett Way. I'm not sure they've been in the RV community. They've been somebody that I've been on and chatted with. I think she just does positivity testimonials and stuff like that. And I think some DIY stuff around the house. So we'll go ahead and put them in there if anybody wants to go check them out. Maybe make some new friends over there. It's called the Crockett Way, and I just put a link in. It should be showing up. Just let them know. Let them know that Aron Jemison and Pause and Effect sent you. And Aron, what's your schedule next week? Do you know your schedule next week yet?
I'm going to be working Monday and Tuesday or Monday and Wednesday. They haven't really decided yet. But again, we'll wing it. We'll set something up. Make sure that you follow Pause and Effects so you know exactly when the next YouTube video or YouTube related video is coming out. And remember, live simple, live free, enjoy the ride, and we'll see you on our next video.
That's right, folks. So probably same time next week if Thursday's open. We'll try to stick to that time. If not, like Aron said, just stay close to Pause and Effect. Make sure your notifications are on both of our channels. And we do have some other live sessions. We do some game sessions where Aron moderates. When are you going to start your live, Aron?
That's the question of the day. I can't decide if I want to go with OBS or if I want to purchase the Streamlabs. I think I'm probably going to end up purchasing one of probably the low end, the standard one for Streamlabs, and start doing my own lives. If we can coordinate them together, we may do one after the other and talk about different topics.
Awesome. Okay, thanks, folks. Everybody have a great day. Until next time, aloha.
Catch you later.